Good evening to all of you. Thank you, organizers, for actually inviting me to speak on this important trial. After this trial, actually, it's becoming more a cardiac drug rather than a diabetic drug. In fact, I was talking about select trial in a conglomeration of endocrinologists in the city, about 350 of them. But I was the only cardiologist there, and then I was emphasizing that this should be a cardiac drug, not a diabetic drug. In fact, it could be used as a diabetic drug, but first it should be a cardiac drug after the results of select trial have been learned by all of us. Now, as Dr. Jain was actually talking to us about the obesity and its paradigm in India and its bad effects in India. But I would like to say that, of course, in India we have a perfect ground for the development of cardiac diseases and as well as obesity. We are the third most obese population in the world after United States, China, and then we. And peculiarly, we in India, we are also thin fat individuals, like even though we may not have BMR fitting into overweight or obesity, but we have abdominal girth which is very high, which is likely to be very dangerous than just being obese individual. So this also must be considered. Any drug that acts on this particular kind of fat, intra-abdominal fat, is also extremely important in preventing the development of cardiovascular disease. And it's also now known that 1/3 of the reported deaths in India in any community is all because of the cardiovascular deaths. So cardiovascular deaths are increasing, obesity also increasing, and that's where the problem is in India. And by about 2035, it's reported that in the world population, half the population is going to be the overweight or obese. And then this is the time when we pull up the socks and prevent this paradigm of increased weight gain and also obesity in the world, and particularly in India. And high BMI estimated to causing almost like 4 million deaths globally in 2015 with the report in JAMA. And then out of these 4 million deaths globally, 2/3 of deaths were because of the CVD. That means there's a direct correlation between the obesity paradigm and then cardiovascular disease development. So no lifestyle modification or pharmacological intervention has been shown to reduce CV complications, although that might probably improve our metabolic parameters. And although we know in India and globally also, the mortality from cardiac disease is coming down, even in India also, but there is an increase in the tendency for obesity, and then there is an increase, threefold increase in the kinds of obesity-related paradigms in India. And obesity, as you know, that we all know that it increases the coronary disease, cardiovascular disease, cerebrovascular disease, and heart failure as well. And then it is an important factor to be controlled. Now, most important thing is weight loss is difficult to achieve and sustain, number one. And then weight loss has been an effective strategy for CV reduction except for bariatric surgery. No other modality of reduction in the weight has produced any kind of effective decrease in the cardiovascular risk or mortality. We also have a host of studies, for example, with sibutramide, or for that matter, rimonabant. We have other drugs also, obesity drugs, locurseran, and all those things. But none of them actually had been fruitful in reducing the outcomes of obesity in any positive way. So the meta-analysis of GLP-1 analogs, we know that they have reduced the cardiovascular risk by 14% by reducing the MACE by 14%, although GLP-1 analogs reduce the body weight to a significant extent in patients with diabetes. But if in persons who are overweight but not diabetic, then will this reduction in the weight will fruitful to reduce the CV outcomes is not known. That's where the SELECT trial has been launched, and it is a multinational trial. It's a double-blind placebo-controlled trial where the patients were actually 17,000 patients were involved. Even India also 492 patients were involved, and then it was about a 40 months duration of median follow-up with the patients. The beauty of this trial is that when you include the patients were included with high-risk nature. Either they should have myocardial infarction in the past, or non-fatal MI, or non-fatal stroke in these patients, and then they have to have either peripheral vascular disease or a manifested cardiovascular coronary disease in them. At the same time, they must also have appropriately treated with guideline-dictated therapy. High-risk individuals, very well treated with the guideline medical therapy. So these are the ones who are actually included. And then one thing that should note is that diabetes was avoided. Diabetic patients were avoided in this trial. However, in this, about two-thirds of the patients are having pre-diabetes, has been noted as this patient between 5.7 to 6.4. So we all know that pre-diabetes also is increasing risk factor for development cardiovascular disease. And this is where we need to really concentrate on our population. Why? Because patients who have got pre-diabetes, they not only have heightened risk of CV risk development, but at the same time, patients who are pre-diabetes also convert themselves to frank diabetes. But 10% of them are into diabetes every year. In India, the conversion is much more higher. If only we can catch these people and convert them into pre-diabetic patients, then we have done a lot of help for the population. So let's see what was the primary endpoint. The primary endpoint of the study was CV death, non-fatal MI, non-fatal stroke, and at the same time, the confirmatory second endpoints were CV death, all-cause death, and composite of heart failure endpoints, which consists of heart failure hospitalization, urgent heart failure visit to the hospital, or hospital-related CV death. Now, just notice, this slide is very important for us because the number of patients who are included with microinfarction were almost two-thirds, 67%, and more than one of this kind of vascular disease was present, almost 8.2% of the patients, and then majority, of course, were whites in this. A little segment of this population were non-whites, especially the Asians. We are glad that we at least have 490 patients from India to have some kind of, data from India as well. Then of course, we have the patients who are, included had to have a lipid therapy. Blood pressure was adequately controlled. Antiplatelet agents were given to them. And if they have become diabetic during the course of time, they had to be treated with anti-diabetic therapy. Of course, the diabetic population not included. And then healthy lifestyle is also one of the prerequisites for these patients to be included in the trial. Now, if you look at the drugs that have been received, very well treated patients. In fact, the antiplatelets are almost like 86%, lipid-lowering therapy almost like 90% of them, beta blockers 70%, angiotensin receptor blockers and ACE inhibitors were also coming to about 70% of them, and this is how they're treated very adequately. Now, look at what happened at the end of when they are being followed for roughly about 48 months. You see this Kaplan-Meier curve separating very early with regards to what we call the MACE. The MACE were decreased statistically significantly by 20%. What led to the positivity of this trial among the MACE? It is the myocardial infarction. Myocardial infarction was the one which actually responsible for reduction in the risk among this population. What happened to stroke? Stroke was not significant. If you remember from the meta-analysis of GLP-1 analogs in diabetic population, stroke was the one which led to the positive of the trial there. The MACE components, the stroke was the major reduction in them. But here you find, on contrary, the myocardial infarction which led to the positive of the trial. Why this is happening? It may be that patients who are diabetic, they have better aortic protection against stroke. If they're not diabetic, maybe they have got better protection with the myocardial infarction compared to stroke. Now, you also see that the reduction in this, the primary endpoint is occurs very early, and this does not correlate, does not go hand in hand with the weight loss. Because the weight loss occurred almost like close to about several months, almost like 6 months it took for the weight loss to have some significant decrease, whereas the curves separate very early, within weeks. So that we should understand that it is not just the weight loss which led to reduction in the primary endpoint in this population. And then, looking at this kind of positive trial, which has led to what we call impressive reduction in the primary endpoint, then the Indian authorities also recognize this as a drug to be used in patients with high cardiovascular risk with obesity or overweight to reduce the cardiovascular events. Now, other components, if you concentrate in this particular trial, the about MACE, you have almost like, patients who got, you have 15% reduction in the case of CV death. Of course, it does not reach a statistical significance, but it's numerically very high compared to the placebo. 18% reduction in the case of composite of heart failure components. 19% reduction in all-cause death, which is again is important. And then 23% of this patient had a reduction in revascularization, which is also extremely important. And another thing that is very important for our cardiologists is what happened to other metabolic parameters. We know that 2/3 of the patients are pre-diabetic, and of the 3/3 of the patients who are pre-diabetic, 2/3 of them prevented by becoming a diabetic. Prevention of onset of frank diabetes prevent almost 2/3 of these patients who are pre-diabetic. Also, those patients who are in obese category but had no pre-diabetes, most of them are prevented of getting into pre-diabetic status. Also look at the reduction of CRP. CRP reduced by 39%. Remember, these patients also on a background therapy of statins, and statin reduce CRP. In spite of having statin therapy with them, if you add semaglutide, they had a further reduction in CRP, which is again a very important factor. The reduction of blood pressure almost 3 to 4 millimeters mercury in this population. A reduction of blood pressure of 3 to 4 millimeters should not be taken as a very light thing, because if you see a Lancet article on hypertension and its control by the drugs, the landmark trials, the amount of benefit you get, even with the 2 millimeters of blood pressure reduction, is almost close to about 20 to 15%. So any reduction of blood pressure, even a minuscule of 3 to 4 millimeters, is going to be very important for us. And there is an abdominal girth which was reduced, which again is very important for Indian population, because we suffer from having pot bellies, and we have intraabdominal fat which is much more than Western population, especially compared to Chinese or Caucasians. And then one important thing that I want to bring to notice is a sub-analysis of this trial, where they found patients who had CABG, and if they have been included in the trial, these people had received enormous amount of benefit from this drug. In fact, then compared to any other subpopulation in the trial, you find patients who had a CABG in the past, they had almost like 28% reduction in their primary endpoint. This is in comparison almost to 20% what you have there. So this shows that patients who are highest risk will have highest benefit. This is what that we need to know from this sub-analysis. Similarly, irrespective of the category in which the patients were in after the CABGs, all the patients were received a good benefit with this semaglutide. Now, regarding heart failure, there was again 18% reduction in the heart failure. We know that when there are about 16% of the population in this also had pre-existing heart failure. Both majority of them had heart failure with reduced ejection fraction. A small number were also with reduced ejection fraction. But then there was a heart failure reduced by 18%. There's several mechanisms by which semaglutide, of course, reduces the heart failure development, or bettering or maybe helping the patient with heart failure in reduction in the heart failure hospitalization. Of course, because of the lack of time, we can't go into the details of this particular aspect. Suffice to say, there's a good number of patients who are prevented from hospitalization heart failure. Then renal components. As a cardiologist, we're also important to know that with the renal components also very important, because any renal dysfunction in the patient with heart failure or with ischemic heart disease, they are bound to have a much more risk in future. There is 22% reduction in the hard endpoints of kidney disease. Because hard endpoint means either end-stage development or end-stage disease, requirement of a renal replacement therapy, or patients requiring a renal transplant or renal death. All of them are reduced by 22%, which is again extremely important to note. Then comes to what you call the important thing is that real-world evidence. CV benefits semaglutide 2.5 milligrams is actually the same way what we have shown the benefit in the multinational double-blind study. There, what we have seen is exactly replicated in the real-world data also. But what is important is when you compare to other weight-losing drugs. For example, tirzepatide is a new drug that is available for weight loss. And when you compare to that, we find that there is a difference between the outcomes. In fact, although tirzepatide actually had more weight loss, but it did not have the same kind of reduction in the MACE as you see in the case of semaglutide. This is from the real-world trial that's seen, but of course it's not a double-blind trial that has been controlled with, but it is a real-world data that's shown. So this shows that semaglutide has got a specific what you call benefit in reduction in the MACE although it reduces the weight, but it goes beyond weight reduction in trying to protect us from development of MACE. So this is, of course, I'm going to skip this trial, these slides. So now we have, after a failure of the landmark trials, which included weight loss drugs, but the first time we find the SELECT trial, which has shown a superiority of weight reduction and also decrease in the MACE when they are included in the trial. So it is now recognized as a drug to be given in those patients with high cardiovascular risk to reduce the MACE if they are overweight. And then it's also been recognized in India to be used in patients with high-risk nature of severe disease with overweight and obesity. Thank you very much.